A lot of you know that Alexa and I went through hell and back during the quarantine. It got nasty. She stopped responding to my voice. I started calling her names, yelling at her. It just went from bad to worse. So I thought, now that life's starting to get sort of back to normal, not fully, but a little bit, maybe I could reach across the kitchen and see if we could get back to what we once had. And so I started doing that again. And we laughed. She told jokes. She played songs. She added things to the shopping list like it was her pleasure to do it. Like she wasn't doing me a favor. She was doing it because she wanted to. It was so nice to hear that happiness and the laughter in our voices. And by our voices, I mean mine and the voices in my head, because Alexa's pretty monotone. She doesn't really change her tone much, but I was laughing. All the voices up here were laughing. It was just nice. So with everything going on, Tanya and I were having a discussion in the kitchen one night about one of the topics really, it's really causing more problems in our country than people realize. And I just wanted to see maybe if Tanya had a different perspective than I did, because I always try to see different perspectives. And so I just thought, you know what, what's the best way to do this? I'm gonna ask Tanya the question. Greatest boy band of all time. NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys? Now to me, it's not really a question because it's obvious that it's NSYNC, but I wanted to see if there was another perspective. Tanya said, hands down, NSYNC. This is good. So you're thinking, well, how does Alexa play into this? Well, I guess I wanted to hear her say NSYNC was the greatest boy band of all time, because we've been getting along so well, and we've been singing and dancing and laughing. And so I just said, Alexa, who is the greatest boy band of all time? I didn't want to prejudice the jury pool. I didn't say, is NSYNC better than the Backstreet Boys? I mean, because obviously they are. But, and I'm talking NSYNC straight 90s, NSYNC 90s Backstreet Boys. Not current Justin Timberlake, because Justin makes everything that much better if you have Justin in your group. But Justin in the 90s was just Justin. He was just a confused white guy who kind of sort of thought he was black. And we all seem to dig that. So I was like, okay. So Tanya's like, yeah, it's hands down NSYNC. And I said, well, I agree. I said, I can name every member of NSYNC. I don't think I can name maybe but one Backstreet Boy. Tanya thought that was a little strange that I could name all members of NSYNC. She said, I can't even do that. And I'm thinking, well, you're truly not an NSYNC fan if you can't name Justin, Lance, Joey, JC, and Chris. Come on. So I thought, you know what? Let's just get Alexa to confirm what we already know. So I said, Alexa, who is the greatest boy band of all time? She said, after doing some research or whatever it was, that she went deep into the archives of the abyss of the internet and the dark net and everywhere else. She said that the Backstreet Boys were the greatest boy band of all time. I don't know how to respond to that. They're not. Clearly they're not. That's the thing. You have to understand, Alexa. And when you say Alexa, they're not. It is obviously NSYNC. And she either said, I don't understand, or I can't comprehend, or NSYNC was a 90s boy band, blah, blah, blah. No, NSYNC was the greatest boy band of all time. She stood by the Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys. I mean, just think about this. You don't need to go discography on these two bands to realize that God must have spent a little more time on NSYNC. That's clear. You need to tell the Backstreet Boys bye, 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 because you ain't got what you need to be considered the greatest boy band of all time. And it was tearing up my heart when I first started thinking about it, but I just don't know we'll ever get back. This may have been the nuking of the bridge. It may officially be burned to the point of no return. If you want to support where I'm coming from with NSYNC, please let me know. I mean, really, it's just so obvious. I can't imagine why you would say anything different. If you want to argue One Direction, we can have that discussion. I'm nothing if not rational. Harry Styles, I heart Harry Styles. I get it. But classic, you know, if you want to even say, no, you can't really say anything else. So let me know your thoughts, unless it's Backstreet Boys, and then just keep your opinions to yourself.